Starting on your end?
It is now.
Okay.
Where you go now?
Mine is 2.
I know, right?
Oh, wait. This is weird. Okay, so it's going back and forth. So do we want it back and forth, or do we want split screen? So that's speaker view. That's gallery. I like gallery view, but do you like... I like gallery view better.
Yeah, I can see you pretty good right now. I have like a little spot on the side. But yeah, gallery view is a lot better. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because I like to be able to see you when I talk. I don't want to just see myself.
I know. Isn't that kind of weird? It's almost like you're talking to yourself, but you have like this little snippet of a person. And like
I know. I get it for what people are doing it, but I'm glad that I'm not doing it.
So yeah,
all right.
Happy Canada Day, everybody. This is Wheelin, Dealin.
Canada Day.
Yeah, episode number.
Episode. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not like I can introduce my own podcast. Cheers. Cheers, Maxine X. I do have some beer. I have some fucking Molson beer, and I've been drinking since 1. So fucking.
Nice.
That little baby. It's a little baby girl. Fuck yeah. Baby girl. That is some good. That's some good nectar right there. You guys, we're at this shit again. I don't know when this episode is coming out, but Maxine is a great friend of mine, and we just like to do this shit when we can fucking do this shit. I'm thinking of calling this whole subsection of our podcast X Marks the Thought, THOT, so that we can have our own little subdivision we can distinguish from my other podcasts. But man, I have been drinking for at least a good 5 hours. It's been mostly beer and ciders. And a little bit of weed. I've been fucked up. Here's the thing. I took a vacation a couple weeks ago to Wasaga Beach, and I talked about it on my Facebook and Instagram Live. And I have to say it was one of my best vacations ever because I learned so much with just being around people within like a broad spectrum of me. There was older people that I knew, younger people that I knew. A few of us did mushrooms, and that's why I got fucking scared. I had to shit my brains out for a bit, but I figured out. But I feel like I came closer. I did. We have to talk about that in a minute. But I feel like I came closer to my. I was closer to my fellow man because of it, and or lady, whatever you identify as, wherever we look at. But honestly, Maxine, it was my favorite vacation I've ever had so far. It's the furthest.
You look like you were having so much fun. I saw the pictures.
Yeah. Well, you commented on one on Instagram, so I was very happy. You were bolstering my fucking my clout there a little bit. So fucking.
Well, it looked like you were having so much fun.
I was. There was I can honestly say the first night I don't remember too much because like my friends took me in my push chair, so my push chair is different from my electric chair because my electric chair can't go in sand. It's a lot more heavier. Yeah. So like when they brought me in my push chair, I think when they were like pulling me through the sand, because I like it's so funny. I'll get into this story next because my buddy who took me there, he's been my friend for 11 plus years, and God bless him, but he is a big fucking lunkhead. He does not know his own fucking strength. He does not know all the fucking danger he puts me into. And we talked about this because like there's a floaty where my buddy legit had he had like a little floaty, like one of those like pool floaties, and it was like a unicorn around him.
So I saw the unicorn.
Yeah. So legit, this fucking asshole fucking throws me in that little unicorn just in the middle of Lake Huron or Lake Ontario, whatever the fuck lake we were in. And he just pushes me out there. And he like doesn't realize how far I'm drifting out further and further into the lake. And then he comes and retrieves me and he says, buddy, I didn't even realize how much we fucking torture you sometimes. So we don't even mean to. I said, look, you guys fucking suck. But at the same part, I feel like it's my fault because I keep coming back. I'm like a bad housewife at this point.
That's so funny. Oh my god! Like how you drifted? Was anybody even watching you or anywhere near you?
Yeah. Okay. So I have to preface everything. Okay. I was in Wasaga Beach, Ontario, when I think the best beach. I've been to Grand Bend before. Grand Bend's okay, but it's a lot less commercial. It's a little more remote, and I feel like the people were a little more rural / down to earth. And we were there for about 3 days. And the first day we were there, we got to see the sunset and all that stuff. We had other people kind of frolicking on the shoreline. But the second day was when everybody came out. It was all the families, all like the fucking vacationers and like the people from Gatineau and Quebec, Toronto, like the whole the whole
Wow.
the whole amalgamation all just came down. And I'm not gonna lie, we've been drinking since fucking 10:30, 11 in the morning. So we had been fucking giving her as my buddy from
Yeah, I
Central Park
saw
was.
the giver.
Yeah, there are a couple of Indian friends that I made, and that was their favorite catchphrase. He's like, "Bro, we're going to fucking give her, bro. We're gonna fucking give her."
That's their catchphrase.
And like, I'm not gonna lie, Maxine, I was really fucked up on mushrooms on Saturday, and that was the one thing that kept bringing me back to reality. When it was like, "Hey, Dave, are you gonna fucking give her?" I was like, "I'm already fucking giving her," and I was like barely hanging on to reality at that point. It was one of the roughest trips I've ever been involved in.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh my God. Well, you know what? I hadn't done shrooms in like over, I think, a long time,
Wow.
And my friend gave me a little bit. Like we went to the nude beach at Toronto Island, and I was like, it didn't work out for me. I ended up crying.
Why did you cry? Were you thinking about all the bombs that were dropped in your village? Why were you crying?
And I was like, maybe not everybody, like it, maybe I should just stick to booze. Like I'm way better with booze. I don't know why. It just like I was missing home. I was like, I just want to go home. I don't want to be in Canada anymore. I want to go back to my husband. And it was like this whole, and he was like, why are you doing, like my friend was like, why are you crying? I was like, I just want to go home. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I should be doing that. I think I should have just
you have to find the right friends who can fucking guide you on that journey. Like I feel like I could be your shaman in like a lesser sense, because like when you did come to visit me, Maxine came to visit me, and we had a fantastic time.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you read my cards and you fucking looked into my soul. You were doing some wizard shit that I was not ready for.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't even need to do it because you're so naturally intuitive. Like you're so naturally intuitive. You knew what these symbols, you could look at the cards and you literally could know what the symbols were. It's so funny. It's like, I was like, you know what they say, Scorpios are naturally intuitive. You totally are. And you're like the one who's being a skeptic. And I was like, you skeptic, like the same with my husband. My husband's a skeptic with all that stuff. But he's one of the most psychic people I know. Like him, my sister, and Andrea, they're like so intuitive. I'm like, how did you know that? And I was like, for somebody who's a skeptic, between you and my husband, you guys are intuitive.
Like, because here's the thing. I think especially now a lot more emotional intelligence and different types of intelligence are being recognized as opposed to just conventional. If you can do arithmetic things, or like you can just do quantitative types of intelligence. Whereas I think emotional intelligence is a very underrated, but it helps a lot when it comes to figuring out people's psyche and like where people are gonna go. Because like you were reading my cards and shit, and most of it just made sense to me. I wasn't really that intuitive. You were just kind of fucking, you were leading me into
that's intuitive. You could have been looking at it like, what the hell is this, right? But you totally got it. And I was shocked because usually when I read people's cards, nobody does what you do, where they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Okay, that makes sense. And I was like, wow, no, that's natural. Whatever you did was natural, and you saw it like naturally. And
is there something that stood out to you a little bit more in terms of how I read it? Because I feel like a lot of people will say, well, if you're born with a sign like this and you have a temperament like that, so you can have causation and correlation. Is there something that stood out to you when you were doing it?
Scorpios are supposed to be known for being intuitive, like having some intuitive. What stood out to me was that you looked at the cards without even really looking at them. You literally picked up what they mean. Like you literally looked at it and you were like, oh, that makes sense. That's this. I see it like that. And I was like, wow, you don't even need cards. Like, but if you ever had any, you would be like the most natural person to read somebody else's cards, because you'd be like, oh, I see. Some people don't look at the cards like anything except for like a card. You did, which was awesome, actually. I like that stuff. And speaking of which,
are you the witch or am I the witch? What do you mean by the witch?
I'm the witch.
I was gonna
Speaking
say
of
you cast your pussy power spell on me. I don't know about that.
yeah. Well, speaking of which, okay, so I haven't edited our podcast, but what I want to do is I want to edit my podcast for an intro and an outro. And so I want to have an intro of 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 just introducing you. So while we're here, I want you so I can hear it. And I want you to tell my audience, my friends, my viewers about yourself. Like I want you to describe like okay, what you do, you know, comedian stuff, how we met or whatever. Just like have a little description. How would you introduce yourself to say my audience who's never seen? They'll be looking at you going, who is this guy? Because they don't know who you are. And my audience would be like, the first thing they do is they always ask me if we had sex, right? That would be the first thing, right?
Maybe I can preface. Maybe you may or may not have seen my dick. I have a fucking fantastic dick. So there we go.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard all about it, audience.
You have.
Audience,
you have.
I've heard about it.
There were a couple Instagram. There were a couple Instagram messages where I got where it's like, oh, are you in the industry? In the industry, and it's like, no, I'm a fucking comic. I'm not a fucking. I'm not in the industry. I'm very
so
out of
people
it.
are going to ask that. So people are going to ask that, and I want you to just give me a little bit so I can make an intro of how I would kind of describe you, what you do, and if you want, how we met and stuff. Can you tell the viewers?
Okay, well, listen, Maxine X's audience. Okay, first of all, 25-inch penis. So let's get that out of the way. Very fucking hung. I'm basically half of the room is my dick. You know, when I basically dry all my clothes on the shaft of my cock, so I don't really need a fucking clothesline or any type of laundry dryer. I think about Maxine's butt, and then that's the shaft of my cock that comes out, and then all my clothes dry off of the fucking shaft. No, but seriously, my cock is amazingly big, and also my confidence is too. No, but like in terms of like how Maxine and I met, Maxine used to have a shop in Windsor, downtown Windsor, Ontario, and we had a lot of the same interests in terms of comedy because we both like Russell Peters and we both have really fucked up senses of humor, and we're both basically the same person except Maxine has a little more bust than me and a little bit more robust than me, if we can say that. We basically read each other's minds, you know, kind of not in a conventional sense. We don't do it in the sense that we're trying to fucking see what each other's thinking, but we kind of intuitively know that. We like to get fucked up a lot. We have a lot of the same interests. She has a better OnlyFans than me, but I show a lot more skin because I have fucking more body hair. So that's, you know, if you're into that, fucking look up mine. Also too, she's my favorite category of MILF because she could be stepmom and MILF, but I also just want somebody to spank my bottom, mostly to wipe it first, but spank it afterwards because I feel like the two are kind of coincide with one another.
You're hilarious.
Is that a concise way?
I love that. That's so funny. That is so funny.
Even your dog agrees. Your dog fucking says we don't like blacks. I get it. So fuck your dog.
Fuck goes stuff. He barks at like any dog or kid he hears, or if he hears somebody outside. Potts is just hanging out here. Hey, Potts. There you are. So my dog is Paco. He's a Chihuahua, but one ear is up and one ear is down. So when Chihuahuas are little, they have floppy ears, and they're both supposed to eventually go straight. But his only went one straight and one floppy. And then my dog here, Princesa, she's right here. She was shivering for a while because there was a thunder an hour ago, and she was still shivering for like a whole hour because she's scared of thunder and lightning. And so she's sitting right beside me there, she's actually a real sweetheart. She's only about 2 years old. She's also a Chihuahua. She's a rescue. We got her from somebody who rescued her, like the person who takes care of my dog when I travel. She's also a groomer, Judy's Pet Lodge in Dominican. And so sometimes people bring, because there's a lot of homeless dogs, and there's also a lot of dogs that aren't fixed. So a lot of puppies don't have homes. And one day I dropped off my dog because we were traveling to Canada, and there was all these chihuahuas. Oh my God, I was like in chihuahua heaven. And they're all like really young, like maybe they were all puppies basically. But and they were running around, and I was like, oh my God, these are so cute. And then they said, oh yeah, no, this has a home. They're flying these dogs to Canada, right? Because a lot of the times the Canadians are the ones who are adopting them and bringing them back to Canada. But this dog didn't have a home. And I was like, how could she not have a home? Nobody took her, nobody adopted her. She was a little bit different than the other dogs. So the Chihuahuas that were being adopted were that stereotypical Paris Hilton Chihuahua dogs. And she wasn't. She's a little bit like, she's part island dog. And there's a local dog who's probably native to Dominican. So she's probably mixed with Chihuahua and the native dog. But so she was a little bit different. No, and nobody adopted her. And I was like, oh my God, she's so cute. So I took her in. And they give, rescue. So it's for free. She was already fixed and already had her shots and stuff. And so she's a good girl. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm happy. I have two little, and then my husband just made a gym here. Sorry.
That's okay.
So we finally have a gym, and there's a bike, and we even have a hot tub, which is hard to see. Hold on a second. You see in the back, there's a hot tub.
Okay.
It's an inflatable hot tub, so it's cheaper. And what do you call it? Yeah, it's cheaper. It's inflatable, but it still like heats up, and it has bubbles and everything like that. So it's pretty awesome. It's a affordable hot tub, and you can deflate it. And say if you were traveling, you could take it. Say if you went to a cottage or something like that.
I didn't know you had a traveling hot tub. It's a fucking you can like take the hot tub wherever you go.
Yeah, it inflates, and it has its own it totally pumps up. It's pretty awesome.
Maybe this is because I haven't ejaculated in like a few days, but I'm already thinking about all the gangbangs that would take place on those fucking workout machines.
In the hot tub, yeah.
Well, not even the hot tub. To me, a hot tub's a haggy place. I would rather it happen in the fucking workout, on a workout machine. Just because, like, if we're doing lat pull downs, like if you want to come in a girl's face when you're doing a lat pull down, then you really have to commit to that shit. Because you got time to pull down from when you ejaculate.
That's so funny. We did, not on this machine, but our old one in Toronto.
Definitely my old machine.
Yeah, well, we did videos with our old workout machines, like fetish bondage videos with them. and like workout equipment. We did bondage on like lots of those. So it's pretty crazy. So the first thing my husband says is, yeah, I'm going to tie you up on that one time. And I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, okay.
Maybe I've never asked you this before, because I don't know. I think we've been friends for a good 6-7 years. I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but what is the wildest thing?
Longer than that. We've been friends longer than that. I had my store for 8 years, and then I've been here for almost 4 years, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You came here, the store opened. So we've been friends for at least 10 years.
Holy shit. Wait, yeah. It feel even worse.
Yeah. So we've been friends for 10 to 12 years, depending on what. I think you came near the beginning when I opened.
Yo, I used to have fucking hair back then, and also hope. I used to have so many other things. Hair and hope, the two type of H's.
Hair and hope.
Yeah. Hair and hope for the future, and faith in humanity. Which has been dwindling as of late. But like, yeah, I fucking I wanted to ask, because what's the most peculiar place you've ever had sex on and off camera? Like, is it a workout machine? It's like a few people.
No, off camera, I would say the rooftop when I was about 24 years old. It was case. So if you're in Toronto, there's this building, it's a warehouse building called at 9 Davies. It's like on the DVP entrance of Toronto downtown. And it's like my sister and I got a penthouse suite. We couldn't afford it. Okay. It's a warehouse, but it was cheap back then. It was only $1,000 a month, which is really cheap for Toronto rent.
Yeah,
and it was
I want you to be honest. Did somebody give somebody else a rim job or some type of job? Maybe a reach around or some type of.
no, but I was on a rooftop like of a studio building, and the highway, you could see all the cars coming through. There was a helicopter going by, and like my friend and I, he was actually just my fuck friend. Like back then, you just have fuck friends, right? So
Yeah,
and it was the helicopter going by and stuff like that. And I just remember it was like my exhibitionist moment because I was like waving to the helicopter naked, and I was like on the roof naked, and I could see all the cars coming down. And then we passed out, and I passed out like with like an arm or something like around me. And then when it was taken off, like I was black from because the roof was all black, right? So the sun beat down, and it was like I came off there with like tan lines, like stupid tan lines. It was so funny.
So you basically blended into the roof. You were like a part of the roof involuntarily.
Yeah.
Yo,
That would be my weirdest.
When other people saw you passing by, it's like, why does the roof have fucking double D tits? Why is she fucking flashing me? I just wanted to see that I didn't crash into the high rise.
I'm glad I didn't stop and cause an accident, but I was kind of like, I was being an exhibitionist, and it was kind of fun to be an exhibitionist because I saw the helicopter was probably one of those news helicopters, like who look at traffic, because it was going along the DVP in Toronto. Yeah, so it was probably like traffic, like a helicopter. And I remember going like this, yeah, and I was like naked. It was so funny.
Was that like, I don't want to say that was your proudest moment, but like, was that your most thrilling moment maybe because it was just so high profile, or just because of the stakes?
It was just funny because it's an exhibitionist kind of place, like outdoors on a rooftop. People driving by probably could see me, and the helicopters probably could see me. So I just kind of like, it wasn't anything to do with sex that like thrilled me. It was just because of that moment was kind of funny. But I mean, I've had lots of moments that were on camera. The wild ones were on camera, but it was like still like a setting. Do you know what I mean? It was still like a set. We were still like filming. Yeah. It was either in a hotel or in a house or something like that. So it's still on a set, right? But the thrill that I get would be like that I'm being filmed, because it's the exhibition. It's like if I have any kind of fetish, it would be the exhibitionist thing. So the exhibitionist thing like kind of thrills me. Like somebody was asking about would I do any of the stuff that I've done off camera, and I'm like, probably not. Because I get more of a thrill that it's on camera, because I know that it's like the exhibitionist in me being watched, right?
Well, it was like what we were talking about, like when you came over, because we were talking about the distinction between your performance style and like who you are off camera, and like we more so like I didn't want to do a podcast then because I just wanted to fucking hang out with you, because we never get to hang out. So when we did,
yeah, it was fun that day.
Yeah, like we just like got really fucked up, and like we got to have some food, and we got to just get to know each other, and you read my cards. So I to me, I enjoyed that a little bit more, because it makes doing all this other shit more seamless,
Yeah, like you would have to have more time, because then you have to set up like the camera, and then of course we're catching up, and like we're reading tarot cards and stuff like that. So
and also my balls hang a lot lower than you think they do, so they have to really adjust the lens and really fucking.
You have to adjust the lens. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think my hands are really meant for cameras being dangled low next to nutsacs.
Okay, well, tell the audience what your wildest or craziest or whatever moment that you had a sex escapade. Tell us a wild sex escapade thing that you have.
Okay, the craziest place, because I've never really done exhibition stuff. I'm actually quite vanilla for most people.
Okay.
I don't want to give. I talk a fucking big game, but I'm actually quite tame, and I'm very traditional. I'll pay for the girls' dinner. I'll pay for my dinner. Like I want to take you out properly. just so you know what's going on. You know, I'll make sure that your glass is always full and mine is always filled. I'm that type of motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like to.
That's sweet.
Okay, but because like here's the thing, I was talking to my buddy Sheldon about this last night, where it's a conundrum that a lot of girls find themselves and they want to be a modern woman and they want the dude to pay for themselves and they want to feel like a chick in terms of like they can just turn the reins over to the guy, but they also don't want to have presumptions for things. Like they still want to pay for them to have, they still want to do this and that. And I'm fine with that, but at the same time, I'd rather just fucking pay your bill so that you know what the fuck we're doing. You know what I'm saying? If I'm taking you out and I make sure that you're under my care, no matter what my financial predicament is, I want to take care of you. And I feel like that is.
Oh, that's sweet. You're romantic. I like that. That's sweet.
I'm
not, I like the traditional. I think guys. Every to each their own, but I like guys being traditional.
Even if most girls don't admit it, a lot of them like that shit because they want to be taken care of and they want to fucking. Even if the guy's a fucking bum or whatever, it's the effort and it's the thought that counts. That they don't like. They're not as obsessed with the aesthetics as guys are, you know, in terms of if she has a nice ass or nice boobs or things like that. Like, but in to answer your question, in terms of where I've had the wildest sex, it's not really. I'm not really an exhibitionist type of guy, but when I was in my early 20s, I ran into this lady of the evening, let's just say, and she got really mad at me one night because I was super late. She had like a bunch of appointments that she had to cancel for me, and like I made sure that we came to a consensus that night. And when we were like when she was on top, she here's the thing, I'm not really into choking, but she thought I was, and I didn't have the gumption to tell her that I wasn't because I was too fucking not ready for that. So like her fucking hand came down on me like an old school, like I have a joke in my act where it's like it came down on my throat like an old school boxing microphone where it just descended from the top of like the fucking ceiling and it just like clamps upon me. And like she's fucking riding me a few times, like going like
She was choking you.
Yeah. She was showing me up top, and like I didn't mind it, but at the same time, I wish it would have taken an extra breath in so I could fucking pace myself for those extra 2 pumps.
Warning.
Yeah, I did pace myself for those extra 2 pumps. So because of that, like I felt like I was like gagging a little bit more, or I just wasn't ready for the fucking third or fourth pump. She was let's just say a bustier woman, a more robust woman. So the ass was fucking clapping, and I was not ready for any of that. And I felt so bad. Like I said, I felt so fucking vanilla. But like there was definitely like because like the most I've ever had sex, we talked about this on like my Instagram, was like 3 to 4 times in one night. So I've had in terms of volume, it's been fine. But the places I've done it have not been that crazy yet. I've still yet to crack that code.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good story, though. I like that story. Well, you gotta be like, she was pumping me and then choking me, and I didn't take a breath before.
Listen, she was really fucking mad at me because I was like, she had other guys.
And
like,
you were late.
Yeah, I was really fucking late. I was like at least 20, 35 minutes late, and I didn't intend to be, but the fucking bus and whatever method of transportation I was using failed me that day. So I was like, hey, I'm going to be there on like 10, but the 10 turned into 20, and then it turned into another 10. And she was like,
oh, man,
this guy.
And then you got a prostitute who's like mad at you, choking you, and then you're like, well, I'm sorry I was late. I swear to God, it won't happen again.
It is a predicament that most guys are not ready for, and I found I was not ready for, but we ended up hooking up another night after that, and I said, I wanted to make sure it was on time because I didn't want nobody else chasing after me. She said, "Oh, honey, don't worry about that. Oh, honey," like she was super like sweet and stuff after that.
She was super nice this time.
Yeah, she was even nice like after that. Like she was choking me and shit because of the frustration, but she was just kind of mad at the situation. It wasn't the whole thing. It was just
gotcha. Oh my God,
that is silly.
You're funny. That's a funny story. That's a good story, actually.
I have a few better ones.
Stand-up comedy story.
Yeah, I don't have a decent enough ending for it. It was mostly just I basically got off scot-free because there was nobody else who like maybe pay up and shit. There's no fucking John that wanted to fucking have his way with me. But it wasn't really about that. It was just more of the situation itself. Like we had seen each other a few times, and when I'd seen her again, like I said, it was just kind of like whatever. Like we knew the routine. She knew what I could do, and she knew what she could do best.
Did she continue choking you, or did you ever kind of get past that? Or because I'd be like, next time, tell me to take a breath first.
Well, maybe for the backstory. Here's the thing, because I would give a little subtle hint. So whenever she would do like, whenever she would bring the hand down like from the ceiling to choke me, I would just kind of like push the hand away. I would like put it on my shoulder, or I'd like put it like on the shaft of my cock. So she'd fucking like ride the shaft of me then. And then like I would just be like, yo, like fucking deflect that hand because I don't want it to go on my neck.
Did you say that?
I was saying it with my actions and with my eyes.
With your actions.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious.
I was way too fucking shy to be that upfront with her. But
yeah, that makes sense. But it's like when you hear these stories of, okay, so who was that porn star? Was it Pamela? Not maybe a porn star, but Pamela Anderson. She tells this story, right? You know Pamela Anderson from like Baywatch.
Are you talking about everything jerkable in the 90s? Yes, Pamela Anderson.
So she tells me she tells a story that I've heard, right? I heard her say, and she's like saying like, okay, now she has teenage sons, right? And so she eventually had to tell her sons that porn isn't how you really do sex, like have sex with a girl, and that some girls that you're going to be with aren't going to like the things that you might have seen in videos, right? So she supposedly had this conversation with her sons, because when she hadn't dated for a while, she started dating again. And then she went out and guys were all doing like from right out of a porn, slapping her ass like this. And she was like, what's going on with these young guys? And she was like, I don't want my ass slapped. You know, she doesn't like her ass slapped. Like, she's like, what's going on? And then she realized that these guys, it's because they watch so much porn. And then she had to literally tell her sons, what you see in the video isn't necessarily what young girls who you're going to start to date is going to like. You may start slapping her ass and she may be really confused.
It's like the WWE disclaimer where it's like, listen, we do a bunch of crazy flips in the ring, we do a bunch of crazy shit here, but don't try this shit at home. Like I feel like porn should come with a disclaimer like, listen, these are trained professionals who have already given up on life. Don't try this shit at home. They already don't give a shit.
Right. Okay, here's a funny one. It's like, do you know what the pile driver is? Like where the girl's like upside down against the couch. So like her head. Right.
It's a move I would never be able to pull off without my chair fucking smashing their neck or face. So it would be really bad.
The first time I was doing that, okay, so I did it, you do what, okay, I'm gonna do these porn moves, right? And then the second time I did it with I think I did it to a girl. Like first time a guy, I was the girl, and then there was a guy, so I did boy girl. And then the second time I did it with another girl, where she was down, and I think I kind of like hurt her or something. And then the next time I did it, and somebody's like, okay, I think it was my husband, okay, let's get you. And I was like, what, pile driver? I was like, God, that's like the crazy. And I'm just like thinking in my head, I was like, yeah, it looks good on film, but it's like it's like, what the fuck? I'm like upside down. It's like, it's the craziest move, and it's not.
You have to have so much dexterity and have so much fucking rhythm and timing with the performer. Like that actually leads me into my next question. Has there ever been any move or any, let's say, maneuver in the bedroom or something you've been asked to do where you're like, there's no way I'm fucking doing this? Like in terms of like tangibility, in terms of like how you would do it physically or just ethically?
Right. Well, I think the first time was like, I did the pile drive, and then later on the next time, I'm just like, fuck that move. And I still did it. But then then I'm like, later on, I'm just like, I'm not doing that move again, just so you know. Like that's, I don't think it's
I love
like
that.
the pile driver. That's just fucked up. And then what was the thing? But I know lots of people like it. It's hot in video, but to be on that end, I'm just like, what? What? Where am I? How did I get myself in this upside down position?
Also, too, here's the thing. I don't want to blow up your spot because I don't want to give away the allure, but Maxine is a lot shorter than you guys think. Like, I forgot how like she is like a little bit tinier than me, and I'm a fucking tiny dude. Yeah, I'm a fucking tiny dude, and like when we hung out, when I hugged you, I was like, holy fuck, you're like a few inches shorter than me. That's crazy.
And that's the first thing that people say when they meet me at conventions or in real life. They always say, I thought you were taller. I totally thought you were taller. And when they meet me at conventions, I'm in heels, and they still say that to me. And then when they meet me, say if I'm not in heels, they're like, you are so short. But yeah, I'm short. But that's why I wear heels.
Yeah,
but you can't tell because, you know, on video you look tall because the camera is like cut off right at the head.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of camera tricks, and it's also just like where you place the camera too. I didn't even realize with like some like how you place it. It's so crazy.
The angles are from below and they go up.
and maybe this next message is for all those simps. Okay, listen, my hands are right fucking here. I am not jerking off. If I even wanted to, I don't have the fucking dexterity to podcast and fucking pretend to not come while I'm talking to Maxine. So fuck off, all you guys. How dare you accuse me? I'm a semi-professional broadcaster.
Semi-professional.
In every sense of the word, Maxine.
So what else? Subjects. Oh my God, I have funny subjects. I have to show you. Okay.
Yeah, show me.
So today I was telling my sister I was watching this YouTube channel. It's called Zeducation, right? And it has like, okay, it started off with memes, right? And then it has like funny things. And I put it on I wonder if you could see. Okay, I'm going to put share screen for a second because it's funny and I want to see your opinion. I want to see your opinion on it because it cracks me up. Hold on a second. And I cracked up my sister. My sister, she doesn't pay attention to all this stuff, but she totally cracked up on it. Okay, so, okay, first, okay, here, let me see. Hold on a second. I'm gonna do share screen. See if you can see. Share screen, wait. Share that screen. Yeah, tell me, can you see this?
Yeah, I can.
Wait, hold on. That's I was just watching that.
But, this is all your timeline. It's basically every Republican's wet dream is your fucking timeline.
Right, but this is a funny video, and I just want to show you to see this opinion. Hold on. This is the world today.
Here, crank it up.
Oh yeah. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, crank up your volume.
Okay, so there's two ones that I want to show you. Okay, so this one here. Oh, this is going to be too hard. I think, okay, I just have to tell you it. I just have to tell you it because it might be too hard to show you. Hold on a second.
Yo, I'm pretty sure your dogs are objecting to this. Your dogs are fucking Fox News commentators.
Right.
Rough the patriarchy. Rough.
Okay, wait. I have to just tell you what it is and get your opinion on it because it's hilarious. So there's a couple videos that I was watching and I shared it to my sister and she was cracking up. One of them was she was telling me about a story of somebody she knows that her daughter is now gender fluid, right? So she's like, her friend is confused. She's like, I have no idea what's going on. And so I was like, here, watch this video. And this girl's explaining, and she's doing a TikTok, and she's like, so she acts on one side, and then she acts on the other side. So she's like this. She's like, so my pronouns are she, her, some days, and some days it's and then she's explaining, and then she explains, oh, but how will I know if you're going to be a different pronoun? And she goes, well, if it's a different color, I'll use they, right? And I'll use this color. So she has like yellow and blue or something. And then she shows, I changed my bracelet. And if it's two genders in one time, like, so she can be a she and a they in 1 minute, not on another day, in 1 minute. She'll combine the bracelets. So she's got red and blue, yellow and blue in the bracelets. And then she explains to people, oh, okay, I get it. And so she's talking to herself back and forth in an acting kind of thing, right? She goes, okay, I'll keep that in mind. And then I see the yellow, right? And I have to tell you this funny story. It was like my husband and I, we went to lots of fetish parties, right? And we bought, like, it was called the Leather Ball. It's a gay fetish party that we used to go to Toronto. We used to go to a lot of fetish parties, sometimes gay fetish parties, sometimes Northbound Leather, and we didn't care. We just had fun, right? And
maybe as one does, goes to fucking leather gay fetish parties. You know, it's a normal rite of passage. Everybody fucking does it. Get with it. Don't be homophobic, okay? Don't be fucking part of the patriarchy, you fucks.
So we totally
I want you to continue with your deposition. Sorry.
It was funny because he bought these leather pants, and a lot of the leather pants had a stripe down the side, and some were blue, some were yellow, some were red, right? And he was like, and Scott tried on this like yellow one, and he was like, oh, I know you're a straight couple going to a gay fetish party, but I have to tell you, if you wear yellow, it's a signal that you like water sports, as in Pete, right? And he's like,
yellow. Oh. Holy shit. I love that shit. Look at you.
So this girl's wearing the yellow, and I was like on the end, I was like, oh, by the way, girl, like in the LGBTQ community, just so you know, that the guy version of that means you like water sports. So do not wear those bracelets to a fetish gay party, because they'll think that you like water sports. And then
maybe this is the feminist in me, Maxine, but I feel like if a girl's wearing yellow at any one of those parties, I should be able to whip it out and pee on all of them, just right in their face and their whole body. I should be able to wire all the fucking plants. And I feel like if they have a problem with that, don't wear fucking yellow, bitch. Know what fucking party you're going into. How dare you?
It's a total color code, and like red is anal. It's a color code. Red is anal. Yellow is water sports. Like
I thought red was when they're on the period. What do you mean? Red's fucking anal. No. The brown one should be anal. You fuck. Coordinate accordingly. It should be brown, not red. Who made that fucking rule?
I know, but I think it's red though. And blue is something else. Like there's fisting. No, red could be fisting and brown could be poo, right? But
there's what the fuck is you dragging into? What the fuck is going on? Listen, I've been hammered for at least 6 hours. Why the fuck are you doing this to me? You think I can color code at this point? I can barely see my fucking out of my right eye. How fucking dare you?
So if you ever go to a gay fetish party, be careful what colors you wear. So Scott, for
safety, I will.
So Scott, for safety, was like, I'll just get the plain black leather pants. That'll be safer. It was so funny. So
maybe acid chaps would be safer, and I feel like that's the irony within itself.
Yeah. Oh my god, cracked me up. And then there's this other TikTok one that I was watching. It was funny, but it's kind of disturbing too. So she's like this. She's on a TikTok, this mother, a younger mother, right? Well, I guess she's around my age. So she's a mother and she's talking. Today, her 5-year-old woke up and she was crying a lot. And then she noticed that her 11-year-old son was starting to console the 5-year-old. And she was crying. And then she goes, you know what? I was really shocked because look at how far we have to actually change society, because my daughter, her white girl tears aren't going to get her anywhere in life, and we have to change this. And I'm thinking, and then the person who was like showing the video, he's like, she's 5.
So weird.
I was like, is that neglect or what? You're gonna neglect your 5-year-old child because you don't want her to learn that her white girl tears are going to like literally get her anything she wants in life? Oh my God.
Maybe I can tell you this. Maybe her white girl tears are gonna get her a bunch of talks with the manager that the manager doesn't want to deal with. And maybe she's going to throw up a lot and if I can make people uncomfortable when she's too white girl wasted. But I think there was an incident last night, man. I was talking to some people. Here's the thing. I before anybody fucking gets off their high horse and wants to be angry, I don't hate white chicks, okay? I don't like the entitled white ones who are the entitled white bitches who like think that they get hammered, they can boss you around are fucking annoying as shit. They fucking suck. It doesn't matter what color you are. Those type of bitches, I want all them to fucking be on Epstein's Island. And I want them to have bad things happen to them. I really do. They'll lead an express line for all those fucking bitches. Seriously.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean this. I mean it. I'm not even joking, you fucks.
So hilarious. That's so hilarious. So like the first time I heard that saying, my friend here, she's from Toronto, she's like, hey, let's get white girl wasted. I'm like,
never heard that
okay
before? So common.
And then I puked that night, and then the next time I told her, I'm not getting white girl wasted with you anymore.
Whenever you come back to Canada, whenever I come back to Dominican Republic, that's when we're getting white girl wasted, and we're gonna have you got to introduce me to some of your friends. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think they'd be able to handle me.
Oh,
literally and figuratively.
You're so funny. Yeah, no, for sure. No, everybody always asks me about my friends, but all my friends are pretty much taken. I can't even remember. I don't even think I have any friends that literally is looking for a guy. I have maybe one girl, she's on the dating circus, one friend of mine. Oh. But she's, yeah. I wouldn't, like, see, the thing is, people always ask me that, and I was like, I know my friends, I would never try to set up my friend. My friends would kill me if I ever tried to set them up with anybody.
Well, I'm not one of your conventional friends, but also this is actually something that I wanted to segue into because I guess we're dating this in terms of the reference of this, but Bill Cosby just became free.
I know.
Yeah, so like I'm thinking, how many guys or how many fucking trolls do you think are setting up a Bill Cosby profile on Facebook dating, Tinder, Bumble? Like, how many people do you?
But I don't think he's gonna date. Do you think he would? He would stay. He would be smart to stay out of the.
Yeah, Liz, I'm not talking about him as a person. I'm talking about the fucking assholes that want to impersonate him. Be like, oh, I'm Bill Cosby. I'm out now. Like, how many of those fucking dickheads do you think are going to show up in all the dating apps? It's like, hey, I'm Bill Cosby. I'm out right now. Fucking, I buy the first round. Ha ha ha. They fucking.
Oh my God. That's so great.
I'm pretty sure. No,
I heard like when he got out of jail, like some people were on TV making a joke. They're like, oh well, he should thank his lawyers, his team of lawyers, and go out for a drink with them, but just don't drink it. You should buy all the drinks, but don't drink his drinks.
I was gonna say, whenever the waiter turns his back, make sure the drink's not in his vicinity. I think that's kind of what the consensus is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, like apparently his lawyer is the same guy that got Trump off, or like he's a kind of a high profile type of dude. I don't know too much this story. So I don't know. I know
never
like
heard of lawyers.
I know very peripherally anything about the story. I just know it was a civil case, and that's when you can sue people if you have accusations, and because the accusation, that's why he was in jail. Blah blah blah. You got it on a technicality. I have no fucking idea why he did. Don't ask me why.
I heard there was a technicality. I don't know I can't remember what I heard. I heard there was a technicality.
Yeah.
Oh God, those are hard cases. And honestly, I know why. They said because he was convicted on film. You know, like not convicted, in the media.
Sorry. Yo, can I just pause this for 1 sec? 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. And we're back. I'm a completely different Dave. I'm fucking African lion safari tourist who doesn't give a shit about the tour, Dave. I'm a whole different thing. I'm basically somebody who owns a Caribbean nightclub, but who's only there for the aftershave and the fucking chest hair, and the fucking and the bitches that come with it. Yeah, guys, we had to take a little break because I had to deal with some shit, but we're back and we're black. At least half of us are. Maxine's a little more brown.
That's funny. I get sun so easily, right?
Oh yeah, so you are in the Caribbean, right?
Right, but I got sun when I went to Amherstburg, when I went down to Windsor area.
Oh, no
I got so much sun because like the sun is it's so much different in that area, the Windsor area, than it is in Toronto, because in Toronto, there's a lot more buildings, I think. And so as soon as I came down to the Windsor area, I was lying in my friend's hammock, and I literally got like a sunburn, and I'm not used to getting sunburned, and I was getting red. I looked flushed, and I was like, oh my God, I look flushed. What happened? Maybe drinking or whatever.
Did you start peeling?
Like, no, you got a sunburn.
Did you start peeling? Did you see signs?
No, but the next couple of days, it started peeling and everything. My skin was peeling, and it was a sunburn. And it's so crazy because then I came back here, and even my friends were like, our friends here, she was like, I've never seen you this brown. Like right now, I got a ring light on me, but I'm a lot browner looking than the ring light is showing. But I realized that now my butt.
I was gonna say we're looking for a black light because we see a lot more cum.
Yeah. Right.
But
then I realized my butt looked too bright. My butt looked white compared to the rest of my skin. So now I'm on like the thing this weekend. I think I'm gonna tan my butt, and I'm gonna tan naked. Because now it's like the rest of my body that's covered by clothes, it's not even. So now I got like, and I was doing a webcam show, and I saw my butt, and it was like, why does my butt look so much lighter? It's so awkward. And so now I gotta tan naked.
This is also just a random thought. You should release all of your bloopers that you have during all your camera reels, like when like the dildo falls out, or when you fall off the bed, or something ridiculous happens. Have like a compilation.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's like when it comes to the awkward stuff. I had like the most awkward one where so here's some stories. This is the most craziest but embarrassing story. I was going to shoot with one of my very favorite porn stars in the industry. At the time, it was Manuel Ferreira. And I was like kind of stunned that I was even working with him. But he told me he knew I was in the industry, but he saw me on my Facebook page with my glasses in the store. And for some reason, he told the company that he wanted to work with me. So that's great. So I'm working with, at the time he won 5 Male Performer of the Year awards, but now I'm sure it's way more because it's been several years. It's been like maybe 5 years or something at least since, maybe 8 years. So I'm sure he's won more, but at the time it was 5, so he's really big. The thing is, I was going to be doing also anal and whatever. So I brought my own douche, which is what I usually do, which cleans out your butt. But because I was in the studio, they had these douches in the bathroom. And I was like, oh, great, maybe I'll use theirs. Maybe it's better, right? I don't know. I was just like, I'm in the studio. And it was, you know whose studio it was? Okay, first of all, this is the good thing. This is a good story. I was in the studio of Prince Yashahira. I can't say his name properly, but if you ever look it up, Google porn star who broke his dick, porn star who broke penis on set.
Oh, I heard about that shit.
Prince. His name is Prince.
Was it the same thing that Dennis Rodman had, where like the girl was riding him and his fucking dick just kind of went off to the side because of the?
Oh, that happened to Dennis Rodman. I didn't know it happened to Dennis Rodman,
yeah.
But that's what happened to him. So a girl was riding, and they didn't. All of a sudden, their rhythm wasn't off. The rhythm was off. So what happened? The rhythm wasn't on, like together. So usually like you think that the rhythm is going to be always together. No, somebody's rhythm was off. And so he moved a certain way, and she went down and broke his dick in the hospital and everything. Jeez. So he's famous for that, but he's also famous because he's been in some amazing movies, and he's good looking, and he's been in famous movies. He's been in tons of like gang bangs and interracials. And
this is why I prefer doggy style, because you dictate the pace and the tempo of the thrust. You know,
right. That's the thing too.
Yeah.
I think it's better because of that moment, that experience that I heard about. I try to be careful because I don't have very good rhythm. So like I suck at rhythm.
I was going to say, you don't say.
I suck at it. Yeah. Anyways, the point is that sometimes I catch myself off the rhythm, like off the rhythm of the other person. And I'm like, literally like, oh my God, I got to stop and let the guy dictate the rhythm, like dancing, right? So I've caught myself many times doing that because I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be that girl who breaks somebody's penis.
I can honestly say one of my favorite David Tell jokes and just favorite sex jokes is this: like, whenever a girl's doing reverse cowgirl on you, it always looks like she's about to get up to leave, you know? And because like as you're doing that, you're like, well, hey, if you're gonna get up to leave, give me something to eat. You know? But
that's a good one.
Yeah. He's the master of the non sequiturs and just those fucking little observations. But there was one girl that I used to hook up with that she would just prefer reverse cowgirl, and I would really have to position myself properly because if I didn't do it, my dick would fucking end up in all these weird positions. And like I have to say, she was quite good at fucking at the fellatio part of it, but like she didn't like the butt being slapped or anything like that. So I had to really figure out her shit. So like when she was like, oh, let's do reverse cowgirl, it's like, okay, like I felt like I was kind of hanging on to her because either she was gonna slide off the bed or I was going to. It was just a matter of time. So I didn't know how to fucking plan my thrusts and how like where I had to position my left leg in order to not fall off the goddamn bed because it felt like it was gonna happen every single time we hooked up.
That's so funny.
No, you ever anything like that, Maxine? Your thoughts?
No, the fall off the bed moment. I'm sure that I've had like something where it's similar, where you feel like you're about to fall off the bed. I'm sure I've had that. I can't think of a specific time, but it's not uncommon. But yeah, so I took in the bathroom, I was like, oh, I'm going to use these douches. So I used them and they had liquid in them. So I was thinking that they were going to be like more professional, because this is one of my earlier professional, like I only did a couple like Hollywood ones before this shoot. So I did it, but what I did was I accidentally took something that makes you poop. So
you took a laxative?
And I was kind of mad because I was like, not mad, but later on, like I literally like, why didn't they put a note like empty and then I told my agent, and my agent's like, well, you're supposed to empty that and use it and fill up with regular water. And I was like, why did they not have a note attached to it?
No.
Like, I didn't know. No. And so I'm doing a scene with one of the top male performers, and I kept pooping. Like, and I didn't know it because like when it makes you like poop, you don't feel like you have to poop. You don't feel like you have to run to go poop. It just comes out. Just involuntarily comes out. And so I was doing a scene with this guy, Manuel Pereira. He's really famous, and he's been top performer of the year. He literally picked me out. And then we're doing anal, we're doing squirting. I did anal squirting. And then whatever happened, they just kept saying, stop, stop. They just like, I didn't know exactly what was going to be happening, but I didn't even realize it was happening because it just involuntarily comes out. I didn't feel any muscles where you feel like you have just brown. And then literally like, they're like, stop, stop. We have to clean up. We have to clean up. We cannot have this on video. And I was like, I don't understand. I douche. I totally cleaned out. I have no idea. And they go and clean up. And they had to clean up. There was guys, they were not happy. They had to clean up like the liquid. It was brown. They had to clean it up. And what do you call it? But let me tell you, so I'm working with somebody who's European, who's done fetish videos and kept going. And he was like, literally like, I don't care. I want to keep going. I'll fuck you anyways.
I'm not scared of the brown and red fairy. They ain't got shit on me.
Not care.
I love that. Real fucking men. Hear that, guys? If she's on her period, just fucking suck it up. Wrap it up and fucking be a man.
Yeah, that happens too. Like, and I was finished. Another time I was finished it. But because I didn't know that I'm supposed to water douche, so the water douche would have cleaned you out. And even though I was finished it, there was like a little bit will come out because if you don't do a water douche. And these are things that I didn't know when I went to Hollywood, because when I was in doing it myself, I didn't have that this didn't happen. And if it did, nobody even noticed it, right? And so they notice everything because in Hollywood, they're like, you can't show this, you can't show that, you can't do this, you have to do this. You know, there's all these rules. So a little bit, one time I was working with Johnny Sins for Brazzers, and literally a little red came out and they're like, oh, you better go, you got to stop the filming, and you got to go clean up. And it's like so embarrassing. I'm like, I swear I finished it. I don't know why it's like red. And they're like, okay, just go wash out. And it's like so awkward. And then you go and wash out and then you just go back to it. But these are things that people have no idea that happens. And there's the performers sometimes will complain about it. They'll be like, oh, that girl didn't douche properly. She ate before she did anal. And the guys might get upset. But the one, I was lucky. I didn't have somebody to get upset because he's a European fetishist. And he was literally like, I don't give a shit. I'll keep going. I was like, oh God. Awesome. I was like, I gotta clean.
Let me reiterate, those are real fucking dudes. They're willing to go in there and to the tough places and get the job done. Stop bitching. Exactly. Stop moaning.
Exactly. There's funny things that happen behind the scenes that people don't even realize. Another time I was working with another one of my favorites, was just like this guy, Aaron Wilcox, and like the camera, I don't know what was going on with the camera and the lighting, but the guys who were doing it kept stopping. Oh, we got to fix this. We got to do this. And they kept stopping, trying to fix the lighting, trying to fix whatever. And I was doing a scene where I'm a teacher, a principal or a teacher or something. And I'm at a desk. And the guy didn't stop, like he kept going. And I mean, I wasn't complaining, but I was like, the camera's not rolling, right? And I'm trying to hit him.
One could say he's wasting valuable strokes when he's off camera.
I know, and then I shouted at the guys who were playing around with the lighting and the stupid camera. And I was like, guys, you might want to just keep rolling. And they literally kind of ruined the scene because they were having so many technical difficulties. But I was literally like, you guys should be filming right now, and he's not stopping. But you know what? That's the thing that people don't realize is that if you have to stop and start, it's really difficult. Majority of human beings can't do it. They can't stop and start.
Well, not even just that. Like you have to maintain an erection. You have to maintain the heat of the scene.
Exactly.
Like I think it was one of my first conversations where the misconception is like most dudes think they can come on a command, but it's fucking harder than it looks. I know because I'm not gonna lie. I had there was a few weeks ago. I was a few whiskeys in, and like I was willing to do the other stuff, but like when I had to fucking down to it, I had some trouble having my flag stand at mass. So
Yeah.
it's a little more difficult, and for that very reason, I don't drink whiskey when I know it's going to be an intimate evening.
Yeah. So what drinks don't do it for you on those evenings? Whiskey.
Well,
I didn't know about
I used to pound whiskey a lot when I was younger and more retarded, so I fucking do that more. But lately, it's been a lot of vodka and Red Bull. That kind of keeps me going through most of the night because I can like get fucked up but still have the energy to talk to talk to dickheads. I use that with all the highest possible regard. But it's that I like gin. Gin is a nice drink.
Oh, nice. What do
like
you have the gin with? Do you have it straight or do you have it with something?
Yeah, typically like a club soda, or I'll do it with like a 7 Up and something I can chase it with. And like very like I've been drinking mostly beer today, but I don't really drink a lot of beer anymore. I find it's too fatty and it's just not. It doesn't.
It's filling. Like I could literally. I
Yeah.
like beer in the hot sun, like as in something cold and to drink. But I can't drink more than one beer without feeling gross. Like then I feel too heavy or bloated. That's the thing because it has wheat. But what was I gonna say? What was I about to say? I was about to tell you something. What were we talking about again? Oh yes. Okay, so when I do a scene, see what I need, like I need either some sort of caffeine pill, a Red Bull, Gatorade. These are certain things that I need when I need to do a scene. So like,
is it just for anal, or is that just like depending on
the
scene?
No. Say if I do a scene, because sometimes like if I do a scene, if I don't have the energy, it shows on camera. I don't have the energy. So sometimes I need to have caffeine. Sometimes I take an ephedra. Sometimes I take like a coffee or a Red Bull. But if I don't have something to like pump me up and get me really hyper, like sometimes I need some wine or some alcohol, because if I don't get something to pump me up for a scene, I feel like I'm tired. And then if I'm tired, I also don't get horny, but I'll get more horny if I'm hyper and I'm like, okay, I'm going to party kind of thing, right? And it's just things that you might need to like get yourself pumped up and energized, right? And sometimes it's at nighttime, right? Or early in the morning. Never early in the morning, early in the afternoon. But
I was gonna say early in the morning is when I'm at my fucking strongest. That's when the shaft is fucking flying great.
Really?
Yeah. Early in the morning. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like early in the morning is when I feel like I have my best fucking length work, or when I have my best fucking show work.
Good morning, hard on. Like, good morning, hard on.
Yeah, even after the P boner, because the notorious P boner is kind of what props you up. But even after that, I can still have a thickie if I'm feeling myself that day.
That's funny. And then, of course, I need a lot of water or Gatorade or something that can hydrate me. One, because you get more dehydrated because it's like a workout. Two, if I want to squirt, I need a lot of water, like a lot of Gatorade. And so one time I worked for Brazzers and I was working at this scene called She's Gonna Squirt. It's like a topic they have, like a category they have for Brazzers called She's Gonna Squirt. And so I was working. What?
I'm familiar.
Okay, yeah. So it's popular. I did one there, right?
I wouldn't say it's popular. Like I'm not really big into the mainstream stuff. I think I told you this off camera. The type of stuff I like is if like the girl's a cashier and she fucking and you text her and you hit her up on the second date and she sucks your balls. Like that's my type of thing. Like just like the regular type of girl who can
be. There you go. The cashier.
Cashier, or just the regular type of girl who's secretly a freak. That's my thing.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
It has to be regimented in some type of reality, so I can feel. Maybe this is just.
Right.
Maybe it's
what about? Did you watch the Milk Hunters series for what's it called? Reality Kings. Did you see Reality Kings?
Yeah.
I was in Reality Kings.
Yeah. I did partially see your scene, but also here's the thing with that shit. I still feel like it's still very produced and it's still
It
contrived.
is.
I can't.
Yeah, it is. Still mainstream.
I can't fully get into the scene. It really has to. It takes a lot for me to get into the fucking scene if I'm really doing that type of shit. I love how I'm like becoming a porn critic, like Roger Ebert. Like I'm like Black Roger.
No,
Ebert.
it's interesting. No, trust me. There's a lot of people who love the real shit. If you go to say Pornhub, you'll see like real people or real couples, and people love that stuff. That stuff is so popular. The real stuff.
Maybe it's regimented in reality because one of the girls I used to talk to, she's from the States. She like that was her thing. She's like, I can't get off to like just regular kind of run of the mill porn. Like she's like,
I get it because the one thing about it is because it feels authentic. It feels like
so much more authentic.
What?
So it's not even just like feels authentic. It's just like it's like maybe you can know these people or maybe you could do that. And it's just like I feel like you know what it is. I feel like because of how regimented society is and like how we're supposed to behave. If you see anybody that maybe you think you could know or just like kind of like have a passing by, with like, oh shit, I know that motherfucker, and like if they're naughty, you're like, oh damn, I'm in your fucking world. I see what your weird shit is, and like. Here's the thing, like I feel like it would weird people out back in the day, but to me, it's like we can fucking bond over our weird shit because it's like you know, as long as it's like consensual and it's nobody's doing any harm, who gives a fuck? We're fucking consenting adults, and we're so people may like different shit than we do.
Yeah, that's cool. See, I like that, but the thing is me, I do a lot of gonzo stuff, so it's like real, like just party. But if I were to watch it, like for me to watch porn, I love the brazzers. I love the elegant angels. I love the polished stuff because it's like, to me, it's like, I like the cheesy acting. I like the role play. Role play to me gets, because I'm a girl, I think girls like the psychological.
They do like the story a lot more.
I love role play. I love this storyline. So all of us, even it doesn't have to be a big story. It's just some story. Like say, for example, if the stepmother is cooking and then there's a guy, or whatever, or like you have the stepmother, she's in the kitchen, she's got a big busted kitchen, it's fake, but the whole scene is like a porn, but it's so glamorized. She's in a beautiful house, she's dressed nice, her makeup's great, and then this guy comes around and, all right, let's just fuck in the kitchen,
Maybe you'll appreciate this because I talked to a couple of my friends earlier about this. I said, I'm the type of guy where like if I'm rolling a joint or if I'm fucking creating something, if I miss a minuscule detail or if I fucking leave something out that's going to bother the hell out of me. And I know it shouldn't because you should be focused on the greater detail, but I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand with what you're talking about in terms of like women loving the story, because I think women, they want to be more ingratiated in the fantasy a little bit more. They want to be
psychological.
Psychological, but like, it's the reason why fucking ugly dudes can like bang hot chicks or fucking, there's money, but there's also like, I feel they're tapping into something that a lot of the dudes who don't necessarily need to have that skill or maybe haven't mastered that skill yet have. Like, it's like an advantage that they have that maybe they don't even realize. Because you have the psychological advantage, even a lot of physical shit is more psychological when you talk about sports. When you talk about somebody who's bigger than you, and when it's combat sports or fucking a game, rather, like the person who doesn't get phased by the audience or the cameras or anything like any outside influence, those are typically the ones who do well, and the ones who kind of are reactive and a little more emotional are the ones you can exploit. And I think emotion can be something that you can use as fuel to propel yourself, but it's like fire. It's like anything else. It's like Cus D'Amato says when he's Mike Tyson's trainer. He said, fire is a useful tool because you can cook for yourself, you can feed your family, but it can also burn your house down. So I feel like it's of a similar ilk. Like emotion is good when it's used properly, but a lot of the times I forget how we got on this because I've had a little bit to drink, but also I honestly, girls and guys. Girls and guys. Like, I honestly feel like the emotion is good when it's timed, but if you get too wrapped up into it, then that's when it consumes you, and that's when you lose the greater point of what you're saying. Just like I fucking forgot this story.
Right. So my point is why did 50 Shades of Grey get so popular? And it's the shittiest book you could. It's the shittiest writing and the shittiest book you've ever read. Why? Because I'll tell you why. Because in my generation, women my age and older, we grew up on the romance novels, and there were romance novels, and there wasn't like girls watching porn or Pornhub or whatever. Now younger girls will watch Pornhub.
I don't mean to cut you off, but this is what I will say to that too. I think that maybe there's a psychological thing where like a woman, if she's really into a dude, she wants to give herself to him or give herself into him, because if she trusts him implicitly, then she's like saying, okay, I want you to drive the boat, and like I want you to fucking be as physical as you want with me because I know you're not going to hurt me. And so when you give that power, it's like a power thing. It's like the dominant submissive thing is so fucking big.
Right.
Certain
but we're just the novel. The novel is very poorly written. Like for somebody who,
it's terrible.
Say like, for example, who likes to read books, they would think that anybody I talk to who likes to read books find it the most poorly written book of all time. But it was so popular. And I was like, I had the store, I had the book, and they're like, did you read this book? And I was like, no, I haven't read it yet. I was debating if I want to. And they're like, women were like, literally like, read it, just read it. You have the store and you haven't read it, just read it. So I started reading the book and I was like, this is the shittiest book I've ever read. This book, basically, here's the difference. Those women were my age or older, okay? So they were 40, 50 years old. Women who were young girls, women who were in their early 20s from University College Windsor would come in and they would look at it and go, yeah, my mom likes that book. Like, I read it, it's so boring. You know what I mean? Because those girls grew up on Pornhub. And the other girls, that older generation, grew up on romance novels. And they hadn't had a romance novel their whole marriage.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, now I want to get kinky. And literally I had couples coming in. I had shy husbands coming in with a list, like a piece of paper. And they would go, I'm supposed to pick this up. And like, he's there so embarrassed, so shy. I need to get a spreader bar, some Benoit balls, Kegel balls. I need to get this toy. And I would literally go, I'll help you. It's okay. Don't worry. And I would give him it's like, thank you so much. And then he'd leave. And why? Because the women, that generation, they need some porn. They need role play porn, right? So they need it in a fantasy version. It doesn't matter how shitty the writing is. And it was shitty writing. And it was literally wasting pages with like a physical email. Like take a snapshot of somebody's email. It's got the date, it's got the time. You know, and there's a couple sentences and there's a whole page with a shitty email. Nowadays, people just text. So every once in a while, you'll see like a text back and forth in this book and they're wasting paper for this book. And I was just like, this is the shittiest writing I've ever, and the story is basically for the fantasy. The people who loved it were people who never, ever experienced an erotic kink life. Anybody who experienced kink or a real sexual adventure, they were like, this is like for kindergarten. This is so vanilla.
I was gonna maybe not in that regard. Maybe we can choose a better term. I was gonna say for fucking novices, you know, or just people who have maybe people who don't know how to work a Hitachi one. You know, they haven't fucking had it since the late 80s.
Exactly. But that is a generation thing. And now, then when I had, during the same period of time, I had girls who were in college, literally anywhere around early 20s, would come in and they would just kind of go, that's a silly book. That's like, my mom likes that book. And why?
Maybe to that extent though, they're still, even though it's a silly book to them, they're still propelling a fantasy. Maybe not in the same capacity that their mom, but yeah.
Generation thing. What I'm trying to say, it's a generation thing.
Sure.
Because the younger generation, my generation did not grow up on porn. No. Girls in my age group did not grow up on porn.
It's a very new phenomenon.
The younger generation, girls used to come into my store and they literally knew who famous porn stars were. They knew who, they've seen this, they saw that, they watch Pornhub, they know this, they know what Brazzers is. And these are girls. And like, it's a totally different phenomenon for me.
I wonder if they have like porn star baseball cards, where it's like, oh my God, she scored 5 times on camera. She's had this many.
You can invent that.
They have other fucking stats.
That would be a business.
Yo, I think we have to make that a business. I don't think anybody's casting on that.
I'm surprised that nobody has done that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
I would love to know Gianna Michaels' stats or fucking Sarah J's stats. Just in terms of like how many scenes she's done, like what.
Oh my God, that would be so many. She probably doesn't even know how many. That's how many she's done.
Yo, you have to introduce me. I'm semi a big fan of her. Maybe on paper I shouldn't like her, but she's.
Of course, everybody's a big fan of Sarah J. Who isn't a big fan of Sarah J? When I met her. If
they say they're not, they're fucking liars. That's all I have to say. Yeah. They're lying to themselves.
All I know is that every time one time I made this behind the scenes video, I have it. And I totally told her that every time that I tell people that I work with her, they go crazy. She's the one girl I've worked with that all the fans go, what? You worked with Sarah J? And they just like go crazy. And it's like literally like pumped up my popularity because I worked with Sarah J many times.
This is gonna make me sound like a fanboy. Is she as cool
she's cool
off camera as she is on
camera? Yeah, she's definitely cool. She's definitely cool. I have some behind the scenes I'll show you. She's cool. She's a Scorpio, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go.
And you're a Scorpio and I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah, we're very expressive people, I guess.
Yeah. No, she's a Scorpio. Honestly, she is really cool. She's never been any kind of rude to me. She's always been very nice to me and my husband. She likes to smoke. I think she likes to smoke weed. I'm pretty sure she likes to smoke weed.
I was gonna say that the reason I'm only showing you the top part of my camera right now is because my pants are just fucking bulging so hard right now. Like literally, like my zipper isn't keeping me up. It's my fucking dick. It's my dick shaft.
I'll send you some of my behind the scenes with me and Sarah J and stuff. But she's definitely cool, and working with her is fun. Like literally, I've had lots of fun, and I respect her because she's very business savvy. She's very professional.
Oh yeah.
She works a hell of a lot. She's done all different parts of the avenue, and she's been in and out of the industry through a very long time. And I have a lot of respect for her. So I definitely like her. She's definitely cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I asked you this on the last cast, but who's your favorite male or female talent to work with? And then we'll wrap up after this. But like you have
well, my female one I always like to say Nisa Nevers. Like I tell Nisa all the time. I did a podcast with her. I'm going to show you the podcast. But Nisa, I met her in the fetish industry as a fetish model. And I've worked with her lots of times. And I've known her since the beginning of my fetish career, my adult career, which started in fetish. And one, I have so much fun with her. Two, I love being friends with her and hanging out with her and her husband. And she's really good. Like I'm telling you, she, like a lot of girls that I know that people don't realize, there's a lot of models I know, they shoot their own content, they edit their own content, they do a lot of their production and promotion, but they might have some help, of course, but they do way more than meets the eye. They look like pretty girls, but literally they're so smart with the computer. And
you guys have to watch out for those, I agree.
Right. But Janessa Jordan, which I like working with her too, but Nisa Never, she's on my Facebook. She's, I think she's Japanese and American. and she's just
A deadly
so fun.
combination.
And like, okay, for example, I did scenes where she'd be like, "Hey, do you want to do this custom video I have?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what is it?" She goes, "Yeah, we got to kick some guy in the balls." And I was like, "Yes, I totally want to do it." And she's like, "Don't worry, he loves it. He pays big time just to get his balls kicked in." And then I put it up in content, and she makes money off of it. But she also has this guy who's rich from Europe who comes down to get his balls, like to get kicked in the nuts.
Oh,
and
damn,
so she puts on a scene, and she's like, she does it, boom, and she's like, "Okay, Maxine's here. I got my friend here to help me out." And I'm like, boom. And then fans were like, I said to people, I was like, "Yeah, I just kicked this guy in the nuts." They're like, "How can you do that? That's so horrible." I was like, "Trust me, he pays big money to get it done. He loves it that much. You can't deny that. You can't deny his pleasure."
You know what I would pay big money for? I'd pay big money for a girl to put me to bed. You know?
To put you to bed? Oh, that's so good. That's so cute.
Listen, I'm not saying it's like innocent. Like I would have her do something really dirty when she put me to bed, but like give me like a handy underneath the covers, or if I could do something like that. But I want her to put me to bed, and I want her to give me some milk and cookies for when I have to go up in the middle of the night. When I'm pissing out fucking Jaeger shots at fucking 2 a.m. I just need a fucking relief. Maybe I need some sourdough bread with a nice burger, or I need like maybe a fucking Wendy's deal. I don't know. I'm looking for sponsors, Maxine. That's all I'm getting at.
All right. Well, we're gonna put it out there. We're gonna manifest that. We're gonna put it out there.
We're gonna manifest it into the universe. Okay, we're gonna fucking make it amazing.
Universe.
It's gonna be, we're gonna make 85 Instagram stories. That's totally not gonna annoy people with fucking music that's like you can't fucking make out. Anything like that.
All right, so my favorite male performer, I have actually several. I would say my first male performer would be Manuel Ferreira, because he's one of the top, and he did not care that I pooped during our scene.
That's a real fucking G right there.
Yeah, then my second favorite would be Johnny Sins, that I did Brazzers with, Mommy Makes Her Own Party, it's called. So basically I was a MILF, and I ended up fooling around with my son's quote unquote friend.
Yeah.
Which was Johnny Sins.
It's always the son's friend. Why is it never the fucking mailman? Why is it never like your son's brother's friend? Yeah, it's never somebody peripheral. It's always the fucking son's friend. It's never anybody that's just like in his circle.
So those are my two favorites, but I also like Aaron Wilcox, I did one where I was a teacher and we were on the desk, and he didn't stop fucking when the camera stopped. And I was like, the camera stopped. He didn't care. And I was like, okay. And that was fun. And I was just like, literally, I was calling the camera people, "You guys should keep filming. You know, this show is still going on." And they were arguing about the production. It was ridiculous. They ruined it. They didn't make the scene look good, but they didn't see the good scene. Then the fourth one would be, I would say, Alex Knight. He is good because I did Pantyhose Lane. It was a boy-girl scene in pantyhose, sexy pantyhose stuff. And those would be my favorite. Oh, of course, Richard Mann. Everybody knows that I worked with Richard Mann a million times. Richard Mann, he is the biggest guy I've ever worked with, literally.
Do you feel like when you did that scene with him, so many dudes felt like they had a shot with you? You're like, oh.
What did you say?
Like after you shot that scene with Richard Mann, like, do you feel like other dudes like or people slid into your DMs where they felt like they had more of a shot with you? Because like he's like a good looking dude, but he's an older dude. So it's like, oh, maybe I gotta
No. Every fan highly respects Richard Mann. There's no fan ever thought. Doesn't matter about his age. His age makes him better, by the way.
There you go.
One, I prefer his age. I prefer the older guys over the younger guys. because they're more experienced and I don't know, it's different. To me, I like the older guys over the younger guys, but the younger guys always like me.
Gray hair, guys.
But,
gray hair.
Yeah.
I'm not
Sorry,
old, but gray hair.
I do like the guys with the gray hair. I have no problem with older guys. I like older guys way better than younger guys, but not too disappointed in the younger fans that I have, because I have tons. But Richard Mann, one, he's really experienced. He's literally a veteran in the industry, and he's famous, and he's won tons of awards. He's 13 inches. He's big, but at the same time, he's very, very respectful to make sure that you're comfortable. So he doesn't do anything that makes you uncomfortable. The first time I ever worked with him, he just says, "Are you okay with this? Just let me know your limits," all this kind of stuff. So he calls me a queen. He just treats me with puts me on a high pedestal. He's very, very sweet. But when we shoot together, he's very dominant, right? So he'll do all this stuff, and he just takes control, which is good, because I don't really like to do the lead. I like other people to do the lead.
Yeah.
I like to be the submissive one. I like the guy to lead all the time. So Richard Mann, I would say he's probably the best performer I ever worked with. I mean, I told you my favorites just because of other reasons, but Richard Mann is probably the best performer I've ever worked with. And no, doesn't matter about his age. Every fan and everybody who's watched it has high respect for Richard Mann. No doubt about it. Yeah, and he is a really good person too, by the way. By the way, he is somebody that you would want to hang out with. He's a very good person, and he's a very respectful person. You don't know what people are like outside of the camera, but I can tell you there's nothing negative I can say about Richard Mann. Is the best.
There you go. What a ringing endorsement right there. I think we're about to fucking tie a nice bow tie in this level.
That's a good place to end, you know.
That is a fantastic place to end. I know you have a bunch of other stories, but I want to keep them for our other podcast.
I have so many stories, and literally I want to write a book just so I can share some of these stories. And
maybe we could talk about that off camera, because like I said, I feel like I want to chronicle some of that. I learned so much. I lived vicariously through you, Maxine X.
I love talking with you. I love talking with you. Yeah. You're just my friend, and I feel like I can tell you anything, so it's fun.
Well, maybe it's a Scorpio thing. I don't really know, but that's up for the fucking dipshit viewers to decide. You hear that, you fucks? Figure it out if we're cool or not. Anyways,
one last thing. Just one last thing. Canadian to Canadian. Yes. My sister went to work and she said that they're not allowed to wear red and white or celebrate Canada Day at her work.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna flash me. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not gonna flash you.
I thought I was about that.
Canadian to Canadian. We need to be able to celebrate Canadians. They're not allowed to say Happy Canada at work anymore. So we need to be able to keep that.
All that shit's silly. I don't pay attention to any of that. I don't know the whole native thing, but I am native too. I have some native blood in me.
Yeah, my sister does have it in her as well, and she was shocked. She was like,
I don't know, man. It's all an overcorrection. I get what they're trying to do, but it's very silly. We need to just fucking.
No, you got to celebrate your country's birthday. It's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, David.
Happy Canada Day, Maxine. Happy Canada Day, everybody else who's listening to this. I was only kidding about you being dipshits. Only half the time you are. But so am I. That's why I fucking love you assholes. Anyways, listen also to the Squeak Stream. That's what I'm calling it now whenever I go live on Instagram and Facebook. Listen to the Squeak Stream at Dave Squeaky Wheels, DAVESQUEAKY WHEELZ on Instagram and Facebook as well. Twitter is D Squeaky Wheels. And Maxine, just give the people some of your plugs so I can figure out where they can find you. So
I want you guys first to follow MaxineX.com, which is my official website, my onlyfans.com/MaxineX. But if you want to go to my Instagram, I'm on that one a lot. It's official MaxineX. And I'm on Instagram a lot. My Twitter, my OnlyFans, those are the ones I'm on the most. But if you go to my Twitter and if you go to a link called allmylinks.com/MaxineX, you'll find everything that I've been in.
Exactly. You get the whole catalog, and she gives you a little personal experience as well. I can speak from experience. It is very much an interactive experience, and she is very much the real fucking deal. I cannot say that about a lot of my friends. I'm lying. I can say that about a lot of my friends, but I don't think they go as in depth as you do, Maxine. So it's why I always love talking to you, and it's always a pleasure. Happy Canada Day. Again, I think we're gonna get even more shit faced next time we do this. I think I might have other questions.
Yeah, but you started earlier than me, so I've only had just a couple, but compared to you, but
well, it's because I'm the fucking champ. That's why. Ain't nothing stopping me. When I set my mind to something, Dave Squeaky Wheels does it. Yes, I'm referring to myself in the third person. Deal with it, you guys.
Oh, wait, another time. One last thing is
yeah,
I'm going to start uploading our videos that we've already done. I haven't uploaded yet, but it's going to be uploaded on my YouTube called Diary of Maxine X Podcast. And so I'll be uploading it, but I'm going to edit it because I wanted to do an intro to introduce you, but then that's why I wanted you to do that video so you can let me know how to introduce you properly.
Yeah, we can work out the kinks and stuff. Like I said, I think we got to do a side podcast that other people would be interested in. I think a relationship podcast would be good, or something where we can have an interactive thing with the fans, almost like a fucking, not a Howard Stern, but
get them like asking questions. If they have a question to ask us, then we'll have maybe like say your Instagram and people are asking questions, and then we can do it where. By the way, I don't know why, but Instagram banned me from going live. Oh, and I never got a notification for it. I just tried to do it one time when I was in the hot tub, and it says that you are not allowed to do live streams.
Maybe it knows that you're in Cuba. They knows that it's communist shit, you fucks. Instagram, free Maxine X. Fuck Brittany. Free Maxine. Brittany can suck my dick. Fuck Brittany.
You would like that too.
I'm not saying I'm adverse to it, but I have to stick up for my friend, goddammit. Anyways, follow all of Maxine's links, follow all my links. I love all you guys for hanging out with us on this glorious Canada Day, or whenever you hear this bullshit. I love all you guys. This has been Wheelin and Dealin episode. I'm gonna say it in the intro. But either way, we love you guys. Stay tuned. Maxine and I are gonna be collaborating a whole lot more, because I think this is the start of something really great. So
it's so fun. I have so much fun talking to you. So thank you, David.
Absolutely. Thank you, Maxine. Just give me 1 second. I'm about to stop the recording in a minute. Okay. I love all you guys. Again, follow all of our links and let us know what you think in the comment section. Take care, you guys. Awesome. Have a lovely Canada Day. Peace. Rest it.